All right, guys. So Joey Perry here with It's All Good. Let's break it down. So follow with me. Check out the graphics on the screen. The age a competitor is on June 30th of the current competition year is their legal competition age for that year. A competitor can always compete in his or her chronological age if they choose. For competition purposes, an individual's age is based on his or her age the first day of the tournament competition for each PROMAC event, regardless of whether the individual competes on that day or not. This provision functions in conjunction with the June 30th competition age rule. Now, what about competitors that are just about to turn 18 or are turning 18, right? Competitors turning 18 years of age prior to June 30th, a competitor who will turn 18 on or before June 30th of competition season may compete the entire season as an adult in the 18 plus division for all forms and weapons divisions. A competitor cannot compete in the 18 plus sparring divisions until he or she has reached the age of 18. The competitor would be allowed to compete in 16-17 sparring divisions until his or her 18th birthday. Rating points do not transfer to another age division. Now, competitors turning 18 years of age after June 30th. A competitor who turns 18 years of age after June 30th may compete the entire season in the 16-17 forms and weapons divisions. This competitor can only compete in the 16 and 17 point sparring divisions until he or she turns 18 years of age. Once the competitor turns 18 years of age, he or she cannot continue to compete in the 16 to 17 point sparring divisions, but will be allowed to compete in the 18 plus sparring divisions while continuing to compete in the 16-17 forms and weapons divisions. Competitors always have the option of moving to all 18 plus divisions for forms, weapons, and sparring upon obtaining the age of 18. All right, now, not really the opposite side of that, but the upper side of that, senior competitors. 30 and over crowd. All senior adult black belt competitors have the option to compete down in age. Example, any 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 plus, or 60 plus year old competitor can compete in any younger adult black belt division. A competitor cannot compete up in an age division. So 32-year-olds cannot go up to the 50 plus division. And why would you want to? But anyway. An adult competitor can choose to compete down in age, but can only compete in one age group for sparring. One age group for weapons, and one age group for forms, and one age group for the team sparring events. If the competitor elects to compete in more than one age group, separate for ages for forms, weapons, and sparring, they must be aware that divisions cannot be held for them or to move from one age group to the other. They'll be subject to disqualification if they cannot make it to their division on time. Competitors should always check with the tournament schedule before committing to compete in more than one age group. Tournaments do not have an obligation to schedule divisions so that senior competitors compete in multiple age groups. There's no refunds given to a senior competitor that registered for more than one age group but was unable to do that because of scheduling conflict they weren't aware of. Senior competitors may only compete in one grand championship division per genre, like for sparring, forms, and weapons. For example, a 50-year-old competitor who wins the applicable divisions to qualify may compete in the 50-plus sparring grand, the 30-plus weapons grand, and the 18-plus forms grand. This individual would not be able to compete in the 18-plus or 50-plus weapons grand or the 30-plus, 50-plus weapons grand, even if they won a qualifying division, meaning because they selected the other ones, so that you can only do one of those grands. Senior competitors may compete in the specialty or customized divisions that are offered in an 18-plus age division. They're not specifically offered to senior competitors, such as a traditional challenge, Korean forms, Kempo forms, extreme forms and weapons typically, and Chinese forms and weapons. Senior competitors may not compete in the 18-plus creative or traditional bladed or non-bladed, and also compete in the applicable senior creative weapons or traditional weapons division. Senior competitors may compete in the 18-plus open weight sparring division. Regardless, senior competitors may only compete in one grand championship division per genre of sparring, forms, or weapons. Okay, so now to kind of complete that, what about the proof of age and how does that piggyback onto the rank rule? Well, here's how. Proof of age. All competitors must have proof of age document with them. If there's a legitimate reason to question a competitor's age, he or she must present a proof of age by birth certificate, driver's license, passport, or other acceptable documents to prove his or her age. Failure to do so may result in disqualification. All right, pretty simple. Now, what about rank? How does the rank rule work? Well, competitor must compete at the highest belt level they have earned in the martial arts, the relative martial arts. Meaning, if you're a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo or Sambo, that does not translate to black belt sport karate level or opportunity to do that, because they are not striking, kicking, punching competitive martial arts in that way. They are a completely different sport, different martial art with the wrestling or jiu-jitsu fighting base. So if you're a black belt in Brazilian jiu-jitsu, but you just started doing sport karate, and maybe you're a beginner, you're an orange belt or maybe a green belt at your local taekwondo school or karate studio, and you want to come compete at a tournament, you may compete as that beginner or intermediate belt rank, as long as you've never had any other experiences outside of your basic training at that moment. So pretty simple to understand there. If you compete as a black belt in one of the sport karate competitions, then you must always compete as a black belt. So doing a show or a demonstration is one thing, but legitimately registering, competing as a higher belt level, then the rules state that you must stay at that level as well. All right, so pretty simple. Hope you guys have picked up and enjoyed that information. Hopefully that helps you understand what the age rule is, no matter if you're a youth competitor moving up or a senior competitor moving up, or wondering how many grand championships you can do, as well as your rank rule and how that works, because points do not follow with you on either one of those subjects. All right, so thanks for watching. It's All Good Podcast with Joey Perry. I'll be back next time with some of your questions and some different subjects that you guys have sent me. Looking forward to the conversation. All right, thank you so much for checking all this out. Hope it helped. It's all good.